If you ignore this regulatory framework signal, you risk being left completely behind in the 2026 wealth transfer.
Now, you hear it all the time, right? The mainstream narrative tells you digital assets are just some speculative fad. But here is the institutional reality. A formal framework for their complete integration is literally sitting on the SEC's desk right now.
So by the end of this analysis, you are going to understand the three-part blueprint for that institutional integration and, more importantly, how to position your portfolio for what's coming. Let's get right into it.
Okay, topic number 1, the SEC framework proposal. You need to understand this isn't just another paper. This is the document that could change the entire regulatory game here in the United States.
So what Ripple has put on the table is something they're calling the lifespan framework. And the core logic here? Well, it's an absolute game changer for U.S. regulation. The idea is that a digital assets classification isn't static, it evolves. You see, it might start out as a security when they're fundraising, but once it's truly decentralized and actively trading on secondary markets, it's a commodity. Simple as that.
And look, the most critical part is captured right here, highlighted in their formal proposal from January 9th, 2026. It says, and I quote, "Once the asset hits secondary markets, it should be regulated as a commodity." Now think about what that means. If the SEC actually adopts this, it could completely wipe out the regulatory uncertainty that has been crushing price discovery for years.
All right, that brings us to topic number 2, the Wall Street Tech Bridge. Because here's the thing. While all this policy stuff is being debated in Washington, the actual technology needed for U.S. banks to get on board, it's already being built and deployed.
So how are they doing it? It's through something called permission domains. This is the key that unlocks the door for the big banks. It essentially creates a compliant walled garden right on the ledger. See, U.S. banks can't just deal with anonymous wallets. That's a non-starter because of KYC and AML laws. But this lets them onboard other verified institutions and trade tokenized securities in a completely secure, regulated environment. We're talking about a real, institutional-grade version of DeFi. Now look, if you want to see the raw filings for yourself, the actual technical documents we're talking about, you need to join our private Telegram channel. That's where we post the primary source material, so you can completely bypass the media's spin. Go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen right now and get in. And get this, while all this technical plumbing is being laid, the big money isn't waiting around. The institutional accumulation is happening now. We just saw spot XRP ETFs pull in another $44 million in daily volume. The institutional allocation isn't coming. It's already here. The algorithm suppresses this truth. To protect your portfolio from being blindsided by these moves, you need to subscribe to Crypto Global News and hit that bell icon. Which leads us right into topic number 3, proof of institutional allocation. Because this isn't some theory, it's not a what if. This is happening on the ground right now, both here in the States and all over the world.
Don't just take my word for it. Here's direct confirmation from a major institution, the National Bank of Kuwait. They are live on RippleNet, using it for instant transfers. And in their own words, we're talking seconds, not days. This is a core function of the entire banking system being fundamentally upgraded with this tech.
And it's not just one bank. The entire global regulatory footprint is expanding. Ripple just locked down a full electronic money institution license for the entire European Union. That's on top of the license they already have in the UK. Meanwhile, back here in the US, you've got heavy hitters like Coinbase actively fighting back, pushing for the right kind of rules, the kind of clarity that will finally let the big institutions in. So let's just connect the dots here. You've got the formal framework sitting with the SEC. You've got the tech bridge for U.S. banks already live and working. The big question is no longer if this is going to happen. The only question left is when. How much longer can U.S. banks afford to wait before they're forced to make their institutional allocation just to stay in the game? Now, everything we've just discussed, this whole blueprint, it's for the first approved asset. But you need to know there is a second asset that U.S. banks are already integrating behind the scenes. I break down exactly what that asset is in this video right here.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.